Hello, welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you are watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got a ton of updates coming out from the Kursk region to share with you. This ongoing offensive with the Ukrainians pushing into Russia, and some of the latest news in regards to this is what you see here on your screen. We've got video footage coming out from Ukraine's Korn Group that an entire Russian column of troops has been wiped out in a Himars attack near the town of Rylsky. Okay, there's a smaller town nearby there, and this Russian column was moving in to the region to try to reinforce the Russian troops that are already there. And somehow Ukraine was able to target and locate where this column of troops was heading to and completely demolish them with HIMARS missiles. Okay, and that's what we're seeing here is multiple HIMARS missiles being dropped on them. And we have reports that up to 500 troops, maybe more, have been killed in this strike. And there was like at least 12 of these trucks that were carrying Russian troops that were just completely demolished. Now, there is lots of video footage coming out online that does show this, but it is extremely graphic. And unfortunately, I will not be able to show that here to you on the channel today. But if you want to go and check it out, you can easily jump over on X and look that up. But this happened near the Kursk region, and it was an entire Russian column that was wiped out by HIMARS. Okay, so Ukraine successfully took them out as they were trying to come in and reinforce the area. So I want to talk more about this today. And then in regards to this, something that Russia did today is they also bombed another supermarket on the eastern side of Ukraine in the Donetsk region. I forget the town name. We'll go over that here in just a little bit. But a lot of people believe that this is in response to the Ukrainians pushing into the Kursk region. So they went ahead and bombed a supermarket. And this is not the first time we've seen Russia do this, whether they are doing this in retaliation or not. There was also that like a Lowe's, similar to a Lowe's or Home Depot supermarket in the Kharkiv region just a couple months back that got bombed as well. We're seeing kind of the same thing happening again, but this time in the Donetsk region. So let me kind of show you some stuff here today. First, I want to show you here on a map kind of where this attack took place at. Okay, so we're going to zoom in here. Here's the Ukrainian border. The Kursk region is right here. Okay, so this is where the Ukrainians originally pushed in, was right here around the town of Sudzha. So up here near Rylsk, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Excuse me if I'm not saying that name right. Forgive me for that. But just to the east of that, there's a town here that I have no idea how to pronounce. I'm going to try my best. Oktyabrsko. I don't know if I'm saying that. Bursko. Just over here near this town, this smaller little village east of Rylsk, is where this attack took place. Okay, these Russian troops were trying to get through here, probably on over to Rylsk, and this is where they got hit in that video that I showed you guys. Okay, just so that way you're aware and you got reference of what we're talking about. This is where this took place. So look at how far the Ukrainians were able to push up. I think they've got to at least have control of this town right here, Koronevo. They've got to be at least in this direction, but they are trying to move up here as well, and we know they are also advancing this way towards Kursk and Kurchatov, and I think somewhere over here as well in this area is a nuclear power plant that is being talked a lot about that the Ukrainians could be trying to push and take over. Okay, so we're going to be primarily talking about this region here next to Rylsk today. So I've got some stuff I want to go over real quick with you. First, let me kind of go into an article here on CNN just for a moment. I don't typically use CNN all the time, but I want to go over their article just so you can kind of get an idea of what happened here, and also the response of that supermarket, that got attacked on the Donetsk region as well. So let's jump on over here just briefly for a moment. It says video shows bodies on burnt out Russian trucks in Kursk region as Ukrainian cross-border assaults rage. Okay, this just came out today. It says here, a video that surfaced online appears to show bodies of burnt-out Russian military trucks in the country's southwestern Kursk region, the latest sign that Ukraine's cross-border assault is probing more deeply and inflicting significant damage on Moscow's troops. Okay, so what this paragraph says right here is the main reason why I don't think I can show you that here on today's video. It's just way too graphic. So in the daytime video shared by Russian military bloggers and independent outlets, and geolocated by CNN, about a dozen trucks are seen on the side of the road in the village of Oktyabrskoye, about 8 kilometers or 5 miles east of the town of Rylsk, appearing to contain dozens of dead bodies. Some of the trucks are completely burnt out, while others are undamaged but still appear to contain the bodies of military personnel. The video, which a Russian military blogger says shows the aftermath of a Ukrainian strike Thursday night, comes 3 days after Kiev shifted tactics with a surprise incursion into Russian territory, prompting the Kremlin to declare a federal-scale state of emergency on Friday in a region largely untroubled by more than 2 years of war. So that's another big thing. They have declared a federal state of emergency now. The entire country is under a state of emergency, not just the Kursk region, which was announced, I believe, yesterday or the day before. So Moscow is firing back, though, in one of the deadliest attacks in weeks. At least 14 people were killed, 43 injured in a Russian strike on a supermarket in the town of Kostiantynivka. I'm probably saying that wrong, too. Excuse me if I'm butchering that. A town near the front lines in the eastern Donetsk region, local officials said Friday. Although Moscow has needed no pretext to target civilian areas in Ukraine, such strikes have typically come after setbacks on humiliation on the battlefield. The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said a rescue operation is underway to free people trapped under the rubble. Russia will be held accountable for this terror, and we will do our best to ensure the world continues to stand with Ukraine and supporting our defense and saving the lives of our people, he wrote on social media. Okay, so that was just some basic information coming out from CNN to share with you. That way you kind of have an idea of what is going on over here. So clearly, it is just absolute insanity what is happening in the Kursk region, also in Ukraine. And also, didn't Viktor Orban, the Hungarian prime minister, I told all you guys this just a few months back, or not even a few months, maybe a month ago, excuse me. And he said something like that this war was going to get much more intense and more brutal. He basically said this war was going to become more brutal over the coming months as we lead up to November. And we're already starting to see that, okay? It is becoming very brutal, and it's becoming much, much worse every single day. And in my opinion, just my opinion alone, I think we're getting closer and closer to a nuclear response coming from Russia. Could they potentially deploy tactical nukes at some point? I mean, now they're under a federal emergency, okay? This is extremely wildly getting out of control, and the Ukrainians are not stopping, okay? They're going to continue pushing into the Kursk region until they're either A, eliminated, or B, they're continue just taking more land, okay? They're not going to stop, is what it appears like. And there's a number of reasons why the Ukrainians could be doing this. We talked about that in an earlier video. So let me jump on over to X and show you guys a few things that are coming out from independent sources. So this again is a video that we are not going to be able to show you, but I will be able to just show you this snapshot of this Russian column kind of destroyed. We also had this on the thumbnail for you. So Vicegrad24 says breaking, nearly 100 Russian soldiers killed. The Ukrainian army has obliterated a Russian military column of 12 trucks bringing infantry reinforcements to the Kursk region. In an attempt to stop the Ukrainian invasion, they were ambushed in the Rylsky district. Okay, so this came out just early this morning around 12:46 a.m. So we will not be able to watch this again, but I will pull this up, and you can see here, clearly there has been multiple trucks that have been demolished. And also, as this video continues playing, it shows just trucks on either side of the road, left side and right side, just completely destroyed. It does even show some troops that are inside of these, okay? So that's why I won't be able to show it to you today. But we'll go ahead and continue moving on. I do have some video footage that I can show you, though, okay? So we will show you this. This is what happened right around the time, near the time of the strike, and it happened at night inside of the Kursk region, okay? So Nexter reports a Russian armed forces military column has been destroyed at night near the village of Oktyabrskoye in the Rylsky district of the Kursk region, Russian and Ukrainian media claim. Okay, so we've got a video to share with you here, and then we've also got two pictures to go over as well. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take a look at these real quick.
Стреляют.
Стреляют?
Боеприпасы. Поворачивайте нахрен.
Ясно.
Боеприпасы горят. Нихера себе.
Okay, so what we see in this video is clearly the burning of these vehicles is what it looks like. And I don't know if these are police officers. I was trying to figure out what this might be, but this kind of looks like it could be a tactical unit from a police officer or two police officers in this vehicle, but I wasn't really completely able to verify that. But definitely two gentlemen here pulling up on this and seeing these the burning vehicles over here after they were struck. Okay, so this is where this took place at. So that I can show you guys, and we'll move over to a couple of pictures here. We've got this photo that kind of shows comparison of where this took place. I guess they were able to find some daytime photos locating where this took place at. It's able to match what we see here. Okay, we see the tops of these buildings, here, and the road also curving to the right, and that's what we saw in the video as well. And this road is curving to the right. So they're just kind of showing you here where this took place at near these people's homes. And then also, here's just a quick map, which I showed you guys earlier, but we'll just kind of briefly go over this. Here's Rylsky, and then over here near this town, again, of Oktyabrskoye, if I'm pronouncing that right, is where this strike took place, okay? So they just wanted to share you a map here to show you exactly where this took place at, okay? So also coming out from War Translated, also from Dmitry, says 12 hours after destruction of a Russian column with a dozen vehicles in the cursed zone, Russia is bringing up more Russian columns to be destroyed. So we had another news organization that shared some Russian columns heading over to the Kursk region once again to reinforce. So go ahead and take a look at this. It's 50 seconds long. All right, so there you go. So yeah, this came out from, if I'm going to pronounce this right, Zvezda News, and they shared video footage of all these Russian columns heading over to the Kursk region once again. And I mean, look at the amount of equipment that is heading over there right now. I mean, this is shaping up to be a huge battle inside the Kursk region, and this is going to be a big problem for Russia because now they've got a fight on their own soil. And think about this again. This is NATO weaponry pushing into Russia, okay? And didn't Russia already say they didn't want NATO weapons coming into their territory? So that's the reason why I mentioned that there is a high possibility of Russia potentially using, at the bare minimum, tactical nuclear weapons if it comes down to the point that they really need them. I don't think that they would use them preemptively, but I think if it came down to it, if they really were, let's say, running out of troops, running out of vehicles, whatever it might be, then I think that there's a very big possibility that red lines have already been crossed all over this war, that very big potential that we could see the Russians using a nuclear weapon against the Ukrainians. So just wanted to share that with you. Two more things to go over here now. From Nexta again, this is breaking. Russians hit a supermarket in Kostiantynivka, Donetsk region, which was crowded with people. The consequences are being specified. So we've got a picture, then a video, then a picture, then a video to kind of show you today. We're going to kind of bounce back and forth here, but we can see after this strike took place, completely destroyed the supermarket. And this really reminds me of when Russia bombed that. There was like a Lowe's/Home Depot style hardware store that was destroyed in Kharkiv not too long ago, just like maybe a month or two ago. And we did a whole report on that when that was taking place. And this is very similar to what we saw. So go ahead and take a look at this video next coming up. So this is somebody in that town capturing video footage of the smoke rising from this supermarket soon after the explosion took place. So we'll go ahead and keep moving on. I've got another picture to share with you here. Here's another photo of this, another side shot of this supermarket up in flames after it was hit. And again, we've got dozens of people that have been unfortunately killed and wounded. These are innocent civilians that were probably just shopping in here when this thing got bombed. Absolutely insane. One more video to show you real quick.
Все повністю. Нахуй. Потрьохсотили, походу, 200. Усе. Добрий день. О, з іншого разу.
Alright guys, so as we can see, massive devastation here at this supermarket. And again, I have no idea whether this is a retaliation strike from the Russians. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but there is a lot of talk about the potential that the Russians deliberately targeted this supermarket in response to what is happening in the Kursk region. And it's just absolutely insane, guys. This war over here is getting extremely out of control and very dangerous very quickly, too. So just, you know, stay on your tippy toes with this one, because this war could definitely kick off very crazy in the coming days. So also I want to show you one last thing here from War Translated Dmitry once again. Ukrainian armed forces took under control the town of Sudzha in the Kursk Republic, as well as the strategic Gazprom facility. So we talked about this, okay? So we know Sudzha is under control by the Ukrainians. That's that town right just over the border of, Ukraine and Russia. This was one of the first towns that was taken over by the Ukrainians when they pushed in, and they also took control of a strategic Gazprom facility that transfers liquefied natural gas coming from Russia on over to Central European nations. So I just wanted to share this with you, and it's got subtitles. They are speaking Ukrainian, but it's basically them declaring that they've taken over Sudzha and they have control over it. So take a look.
Здоров'я з міста Суджа. Новини в нас такі. Місто контролюється Збройними силами України. В місті спокій. Всі будинки, всі міста цілі. Стратегічний об'єкт Газпром в місті Суджа контролюється 99-м механізованим батальйоном 61-ї окремої степової бригади. Всім мирного неба. Слава Україні! Героям слава! Здоров'я!
Okay, so we can tell from these Ukrainian troops, they said they've taken over the town of Sudzha, and then they also have control of that strategic Gazprom facility that I was mentioning. And I thought it was funny too, right here, where they say the town is quiet and all buildings are intact. You could hear an explosion in the background. At least it sounded like it to me. And then he kind of looked over to the side right after he got done saying that. It's like the town is quiet, and then boom, there's an explosion in the background. I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah, I mean, this is the latest that we have coming out from the Kursk region. I'm sure we're going to have much more developments happening in the coming hours. I know the Ukrainians are definitely trying to push towards that nuclear power plant. Are they trying to take it over? We have no idea. And it's very interesting because there's just not much talk coming out from the Ukrainian government. Even Volodymyr Zelensky, he doesn't really talk much about this. He hasn't even really come out and put much updates in regards to this incursion. Mainly, he's talking about what's happening in the Donetsk region and just kind of what's happening in their country every time he puts out updates. I think it's very interesting how they're kind of staying quiet about this. It's almost like they don't even know what's going on, although I'm sure they do. But I'll continue to follow this topic here of the Kursk region, and I'll continue bringing you guys updates coming out from Russia. But definitely this is going to be a tough one for Russia to fight, and we'll see if they're going to be able to push the Ukrainians back out of their territory. Or is this Ukraine's big attempt to take as much land as they can from Russia to maybe negotiate coming in November? We'll have to see what happens here, but that's going to be it for this update. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. If you got something out of this update, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.